All right, what up, guys? We're here today with a special video, and we are guest starring Devin,
Hello.
and we are basically doing a quick video about the main character energy, what it means to be the main character, and how you can kind of embody that energy in your life. I know that that's been like a trend on TikTok. The other day we were talking, and you were like, I feel like when we're out and about, for some reason it just feels like we're just like in our own world.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing or like what they're up to or what they think about what we're doing, because we're just on our completely own wavelength. We had like a really good conversation about it, so that's what kind of brings us to this today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had just come back from getting food at this like steakhouse. You like,
And also just like playing around in grocery
yeah.
stores too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, or like wherever we go, we literally have like these inside jokes that have like naturally like happened, and now we have like a bunch, I guess. But both of us, she also, like, I will do things that if people saw me doing in public, they'd probably be like, what is wrong? What is actually wrong with this person? But the thing that's cool about her is I feel like she does stuff like that too. And we both, yeah, she got her little dancey dances that she does. And it's just a vibe, and we'll get commentary about that from people that know us too. So, because she'll be at work, she'll be doing her little things. I call them Devinisms, and her little like things that she does and her little mannerisms. And people will be like, "What do people say at work?"
oh, they just like call me quirky, or they call it like, like Devin's just being Devin.
Yeah.
And it's just like a very Devin's world, which I think is a very interesting statement considering like the topic today too.
Yeah, like it's Devin's world, we're just living in it. That type of thing.
Yeah.
So like they'll be doing that. They might do that and say the verbals that they're saying might be like, Devin, what are you doing? But they're honestly, like, you can tell that they love it. So they'll be like, why do you have so much energy? Like, what is wrong with you? But like in a good way. They'll be like, what the hell is like up with this girl, right?
Yeah. They're just like, how can I be like that? And it's just like you just do it.
Yeah.
You just feel yourself and you just let it go.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what is a huge part of this. So like people will talk about, like, we'll see people like Emma Chamberlain comes to mind, right? Like she has been known as just being quirky and having this quirky energy. And now you've got all these girls that like try to do that. They try to copy it, but it's not, they're just, they're trying to be like her, and she was the original one that had those quirky vibes or whatever. And so like for her, it comes across super authentic, and that's why so many people gravitated towards her on her channel. And she blew up, as many of you probably know, she was like one of the fastest growing YouTube creators. At least at that point in time when she had blown up, it was just like, it was so rapid, her growth, and people were just like, damn, who is this girl? She just came out of nowhere. And it's because she has that going on. And that's the thing about most people nowadays, girls that are like in a sorority or whatever, and it's just like they're all trying to be doing the same thing. They might even all be, yeah, like clones, literally like these NPCs walking around. And not to like diss anybody, but it's really to the point where, yeah, they'll literally copy each other's clothes, each other's mannerisms. And a lot of the time you'll hear the way that they speak just sounds like the Kardashians or like somebody that they were watching that they just
adopted that way of speaking.
Exactly. And what's cool about you is that you have like all of these your own, and obviously we all get influenced by people. You guys to interpret what I'm saying is like, you never should adopt any positive traits from anybody that you see, because it's a natural part of being human, is that we do adopt certain things from certain people that we learn from, like first our parents, then our classmates, and people that we're around. But it's like different than just basically being like a carbon copy of like one type of way of thinking.
There's a difference between like losing yourself and becoming the copy, and then seeing something you're like, oh, that's cool, I want to start doing that too, and adding it to your like who you are, and putting your own twist on whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talk about this concept a lot. Like there's this whole book called Steal Like an Artist, but it's like allowing yourself to have permission that, yeah, like almost everything, nothing new there's really not many new things that are going to exist. Like almost everything is like, at this point, like a combination of other things that have worked. To a degree. but like you'll see it with music, right? Like there's so many of these melodies have been done before, but it's just like with different instruments and with different timings and with different things going on. But anyways, not to get too off topic, one thing that we had talked about, let me see this real quick.
Wrote down some notes.
Yeah, we wrote down some notes. So like that's one of the things, like I mean this is like clearly like a thing that became on TikTok, and it's like from anime, but she'll like do that, but she'll like do it with her own like pizzazz, and then be like on some shit like with her voice. And she's got like this like thing that she does, like you can't really give an example right now because we're sitting down. But it's like all of these little like ways that she'll do, and it's funny because I feel like she'll probably get away with certain things like by doing that, maybe at work and or in other places, just by having like this cute way of doing things and going about things. And she's able to like influence all of these guys at work when she's surrounded by a bunch of dudes, and a lot of them are older than her too. But she's literally got like these like guys that are way older than her, like doing this, and like I don't know. It's just funny to hear, and I'm not surprised at all. By the way, yeah, we'll be out, and I will straight up like. Because she's got this dog here named Sadie, and I don't know where this came from. I was like growling at her one day, and so like it just straight up turned into like doing like wolf howls, and I will like be like howling in the middle of like Fry's or something, or like Kroger or whatever. It's funny.
It's just not. It's just like a little.
Yeah, it's like a little.
But it's just being so comfortable in yourself and being like just aware that this is your world. So why not just have fun with it? Why not just let loose, let out a like a you know,
Exactly.
Yeah. Because it's your world. Like, are you going to live and be so confined in a box? And that's the difference between being a side character and being a main character, is being okay, like so sure of yourself that you're like, yeah, I can go out, I can do a RAR. Who's gonna stop me? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Someone's gonna give a look. They're just jealous that they're not comfy with themselves to let out their own little RAR.
Exactly.
Or let their freak flag fly just a little bit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really just is like, regardless of it's like, what it is just giving yourself permission to be like free. Because in this world that we live in, where there's all these expectations, we're grown up in a classroom, taught by the teachers, you're supposed to, you know, ask permission to get up, ask permission to speak, raise our hand, all of this stuff, right? It's like you almost have to just untrain yourself for all of that, because otherwise you won't be able to. And literally it's to the point where like a lot of people that I know, and I've even had to work on this myself, like train my vocal projection, because we're taught to be so quiet, like using indoor voice and all this. And like, granted, there's reasons for that. We don't want to just be screaming in the classroom while we're little kids, but like we don't need to be carrying that into like every single, you know, point of our lives. And like it's maybe appropriate in certain instances, but in a lot of instances, like when I was doing sales, I need to project my voice. You need to sound confident, and you need to cut through the noise, and people need to hear you. So it's really a lot of cases just giving yourself permission, even though you've been almost that inner character, that main character within you, that childlike essence within you has basically been beaten down your whole life by the adults around you as you're growing up, by people, by society. Like no, this is not okay. You gotta like stifle that. You have to untrain that and just allow that to be, and allow yourself to be expressive. And basically that's a lot of what it comes down to. And yeah, you know what, if you start doing this, if you're new to like allowing yourself to do these things and be more expressive, you're gonna do some stuff that is like weird or maybe rubs people the wrong way. But that honestly is part of the process of becoming more free. And as you do it, you'll get those different reference points and be like, okay, like maybe I need to tailor this, tweak this. Maybe I came off like a little bit not how I wanted to in this instance. And then that's how you're going to progress. And like all the confident people that you see in movies and TV, in real life, they've gone through that process too. I promise you, they've looked weird. What is Emma Chamberlain looks weird? She gets judged all the time. And all the people that are in the main, like in the spotlight all the time, are constantly being judged by people.
And partly it's because they're scared. Like the people judging them are scared to break free.
Mm.
And so they're judging people standing out, like
Yeah.
standing up and standing out, thinking for themselves, acting for themselves, and behaving in a way that they like it makes their own reality more enjoyable. And then
Yeah.
people just like they judge that and they get so jealous, and it comes from jealousy
Mm-hmm.
that they don't have that. So whenever you're being met with criticism and pushback, most of the time you're heading the right way. Whenever you're venturing, doing your main character quests, you're going the right way if you're coming across enemies.
Yeah, I mean, there's that quote about like, you know, you're not doing it right unless you got haters or whatever,
Yeah.
or being, you know, active enough. Because yeah, I mean, and let's just face it, a lot of like, there's a lot of things about human psychology that you'll come to realize like throughout your life that are just either counterintuitive or just kind of strange. But unfortunately, that is a lot of the times the way that it is. People will like judge and condemn something that they really want for themselves, but they've almost like not giving themselves permission to do that for whatever reason, because they're scared, they're afraid, they were told it wasn't okay, they were told by their parents or by teachers or by whoever, society, that this is bad, and so they don't want to, even though like that's their inner, the real self, the real inner child, or the real like main character that lives within them like would love to do that, but they end up condemning those that do that because they feel like they can't. And
Or
it's
on the other hand, you're almost giving them permission to let that side of them out.
Yeah.
Because whenever they see somebody acting free, it sort of, I don't want to say disarms them, but just gives them,
it gives them permission
yeah,
And
to,
that's-
to let loose just a little bit.
to shrug it off, you
Yeah.
know, to do a little like, yeah, to do a little dance, do whatever. I mean, that's how I look at it too, is that that's how I've seen it. I mean, when I grew up, I've just been that type of person. Of course, I get these little pings or pangs of jealousy every once in a while, but I really try to have the self-awareness to be like, wait, why am I feeling like this? Or be like, well, wait a second, there's some guy that I look up to, say I'm in high school, whatever, or even now, and I'm just like, I really like this guy, I think this guy's really dope or whatever, or I'm maybe jealous of him a little bit, right? But wait, what can I do? How can I be more like that? If I think that's cool, or if there's a part of me that's like jealous, then I'm gonna be like, yo, well, maybe I should give myself permission to do that as well. And maybe I should adopt some of those things. How can I learn from him or them, whoever it is? And you know, bring a little bit of that into my own life, into my own like way of doing things. And yeah, that's the positive end of that. But yeah,
Yeah, and then also like your really great example, and that you brought that up, is most people, whenever they do see somebody doing something that they think is really sick, or they're wearing something really cool, odds are like most people will just watch and kind of judge it because they don't have it. But one thing that I think is really cool about you, and that gives that main character energy, is that you're just like, nah, I'm gonna go up, be like, hey, like, I think your shirt's super sick, or I think those shoes are sick, like, where did you get that from? And just asking people, engaging and talking, because people, they're not scary. The worst thing that's going to happen is just like, nah, bro. But then they're
Exactly.
gonna look weird for doing that.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
not-
Yeah, no, that's a great point that you're bringing up. Like, first of all, there's 2 points I want to make after that. Yeah, 100%. You're purely bringing positive energy to them. So if they like start being cold or whatever, it's yeah, that would be almost strange. I love it when people give me compliments. I'm like, dude, thank you. Like, and I really do appreciate it. Whether they're complimenting my clothes or, you know, how I handled a situation or anything, I'm always just like, man, like, thank you, because I appreciate it. I genuinely do. Then the other thing about that is that, yeah, like when you are going around, you are now engaging with the world. So you are now enforcing that. So you go up and give this guy a compliment on a shirt, whatever, shoes, whoever it is, you are now reinforcing like, oh yeah, I do like that. I will give myself permission to do this, to be free.
Yeah.
And they should too. And I'm gonna compliment and reinforce the fact that they were cool and expressive with this.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a bunch of cool stickers on their hydro flask. Yo, that's the most aesthetic hydro flask I've seen in like all month. Or if, or if somebody's got some really sick shoes, anything like that. And now you're all of a sudden, you're, like I said, you're just reinforcing that for yourself and for like the people around you. So I think that that's great. That's something that I love doing. I've also actually, just by engaging with the world in a positive way, I get free stuff all the time. And this has like been like, I've always done this. I've always like, maybe not always, but like as long as I can remember in my adult life, I just do this. And like, so the other day we were at Cafe Rio and I was just like joking around because I think they like messed up her order a little bit, or like they didn't include the sauce, or there was something a little bit wonky with the thing. And I was like, yeah, you guys are killing it today. But I just like wasn't even like really trying to like diss her. I was just kind of throwing that. I didn't even realize at the time. I was like, yeah, you guys are killing it. And then like she brought it up. She was like, oh wait, did we not do this? And I was like,
she's like, you clowning right
yeah,
now?
she's like, are you clowning? I was like, yeah, actually, like I'm on Undercover Boss. Like, you know, like we're making sure that everything's going all right over here. But you guys are like, I don't remember exactly what I was like, but you guys are like doing your thing or whatever. Like,
yeah, because she asked me if I wanted the tortilla chips on my salad, and I was like, no. And she straight like looks at me, goes and
puts them
talks
on
to
anyway.
yeah. I'm like, whoa, weird power move, but all right.
Yeah.
And then she's like, wait, did you say no? And I was like, yeah, but no, it's fine. Like, didn't put any on yours yet. So
Yeah.
I just said don't put it. But
right. But then what did
you didn't realize that, and so she was the one who checked us out.
Exactly. So what did she end up saying after I was like, I'm on Undercover Boss?
Oh, I don't know, but she was just like, you want a free drink?
Yeah, she just ended up giving us free drinks because we were just clowning around with her. And it's like, even if we had been, which I didn't even realize that they like slightly like didn't you know mess up the order or whatever. Just the fact that we were clowning around in our energy, she was just like, yeah, you guys like want these free drinks. And then funny enough, later I saw her again another time and she gave me another free drink again. Just because I was making conversation. I was like, yeah, like, you know, I was talking about how we were gonna go to Mexico to Rocky Point, and I was like, yeah, like, have you ever been? Like, people say it's lit. She's like, nah, people always talk about it, but I haven't been yet. She's like, let me know how it is. But that's just one example that just comes to mind. It's like when you interact positively with the world around you, you get that positivity back more often than not. So there's really no reason to be scared. Another example like that I can think of is when we were renting jet skis. And I was just like chopping it up with the guy. At this point, I don't even remember like what I was saying with him, but they ended up giving us like literally like half an hour or 45 minutes, I can't remember, extra time on the jet skis for completely free. Just because we were like talking and like being cool and stuff. So
yeah, that dude was awesome.
Yeah, so that stuff like happens a lot.
Yeah, main characters are always nice characters, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like, that's the thing, you don't want to be, I think a lot of people think like, oh, like, if you're gonna adopt this type of mindset, then it's like, you're the only one that matters, and like, you know, like, fuck everybody else, like, that's not what it's about. It's about like, embodying yourself, like, being expressive with yourself, and being the main character, but then also like, bringing people up around you, not like, cutting people down. So, I don't know, that's at least the way that I think about it. But, like we were saying, like one aspect of this that I really appreciate about you is like the free thinking. Because like in order to do this too, you have to be a free thinker. You can't be like an Agent Smith or whatever, like walking around the Matrix, just like copying everybody else like we talked about, but also like adopting, like without thinking, without giving things your own thought, just being like, oh yeah, like I agree with this because this is like what people are telling me. And I noticed that you, for a lot of things we've talked about, like you definitely give things thought and formulate your own opinions and thoughts on things. Which is like a very big part of it. Like being free thinking is a huge part of adopting this type of energy.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah. What did you do with this craps table dancing? You got the craps table dancing?
Yeah, so I work in a casino, and I was just like walking the grounds, and they play live music, and so obviously like I'm not gonna dance, right? So going down this escalator, I'm just doing my little dancey dance. I got my coffee and I'm feeling good, right? And then I'm not really like paying attention to anyone because I don't care like who's watching me, who's looking. I'm just watching the TV, like music videos. And one of my cooks taps me on the shoulder and he goes, look. And I look over to where he's pointing at this craps table, still doing my dancing moves, and I see like 3 or 4 guys around the table, dancing over there with me. And I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. So it has rippling effects, and you will touch other people with your energy, and ensuring that that is a positive energy that you are putting out. Like it has, sometimes it has immediate effects, like your free drinks, getting people dancing. 'Cause I like to think that made their day.
Exactly. Yeah, I makes my day when people compliment me, or when people give me like a free thing. It really like makes me feel awesome. But then also like it's like, yeah, like bringing people out of their shell. There's a couple guys that maybe they're whatever, they just are very shy, like they've had a hard time, and you've like slowly kind of brought them out of their shell. And
I'm noticing like the more quieter people, and then just like taking time to like engage with them and bringing them out. There's this one guy, and he'll like call out all the time, no call, no show, and he was like on a last leg, and I just started, because whenever he's there, he's a great worker, and so like I just kind of started talking to him more. And since like I took the time to talk to him and like a couple of the other like quieter people, they've been showing up more. Their attendance have increased, their performance have increased. So it's just taking the time and noticing people and doing that, making those efforts. It does go a long way. Like you might not see it, but whenever you're taking time and noticing somebody, they'll see it, and it'll have long-term effects as well. And that's that main character energy, and that's kind of what you're talking about, is lifting people up around you.
Exactly. Yeah. And some people, like you're talking about rippling effects, like not only will have it around you immediately, but you will actually, like with some of these people, a lot of people have never gotten that kind of approval before from somebody that is certain of themselves and is a confident person. People have, issues growing up, and issues, especially if they're shy, they don't get a lot of validation from their peers or from anybody, and it's like a vicious cycle. So the more shy that they are, the less maybe popular they were in school or whatever the case, right? And so a lot of times, like you may be the first person in some of these guys, like people's lives, that have seen them and like given them props, or just like given them a word of encouragement, or been like an encouraging voice for them. And that's honestly like could literally change the course of those people's lives. So you never know, what. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. That's pretty much, covers what we wanted to say here. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We tried a little something different. It was dope having you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
And drop us a comment below. Let us know what you think about this. And if you want to see more of Devin here on the channel, let us know as well. We can get some more videos going for you guys. And anyways, guys, much love as always. I really appreciate all the love on the channel. We're almost at 700 subs. So drop me a like, drop us a comment, let us know what you think, and hit us with that subscribe. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.